You're going to become the most unpopular person in the department. So don't do that. Um, this is a very similar challenge to what we saw when cloud platforms started showing up in the enterprise. It was like, oh yeah, they've got a couple of EC2 instances. They use them for dev. A year later, it was like, oh yeah, it's production and there's 100 servers. And it's like, oh, I better do something about this. I'm the identity practitioner. But if you just went in and kicked down the walls and said, hey, all accounts that you need have to go through ServiceNow, and then they'll get provisioned, and we have a 48-hour SLA, you're going to impede the business. You're going to become the most unpopular person in the department. So don't do that. But at the same time, you can't just say, okay, well, I got here too late. I'm not going to do anything. I think what you have to do is kind of what you're talking about. And this is why I say, there's an element of being political. That sounds like such a dirty word these days, but, shaking hands, kissing babies, but also just working with other people, seeing them as important peers, and you have to arrive at a solution together. Hey, we need to have visibility over the entire enterprise environment. We need to do X, Y, and Z, and then get them on board with what you're trying to accomplish and see if you can find a way to accomplish that. I think the same thing applies with NHIs. We're getting to the table late because I think NHIs started 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but they're much more prevalent now. So it is a bigger issue, and we just can't go in and kick down the walls.